And here we have guided conversations. We talk about real life, real faith, real pace, and real growth. And just know, anytime you see me sitting on this couch, just know we about to have a real conversation. Okay? All right, y'all. So, as you can see, the title of the video is how I tripled my salary in just 1 year by doing these 3 things. So when it comes to tripling our salary, y'all excuse me because I might butcher the world out of that word. But when it comes to increasing your salary, doubling or tripling it, people think it's like you won the lottery or you got this high paying job. And me being a mom, a single mom at that, there's not a lot of time to devote to working an actual job, like one that you physically have to go to every day. I have to be around to take care of my children and their needs. I have to make sure that I'm present for them with school. I have to make sure I'm getting them to and from where they need to go. And to do all of that, that means my job, everything that I do career-wise, has to be flexible. So here are the 3 things that I did to keep that flexibility, still be able to be a mom, but also triple my income. All right, this is what I did. First thing, and we hear it all the time in the financial world, and you probably get sick and tired of hearing it and probably say to yourself, well, how in the world do I do the same thing? The first thing you want to do is add some streams of income. You want these additional streams of income to be a part of what you're using to build your vision. And the way you add these income streams is you can either look for certifications. You can get a second job if you have the time to do so. And this is not just for mamas. This is for anybody. If you're single with no kids, you have a high advantage to be able to do multiple things in one day outside of your regular 9 to 5. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't necessarily have a 9 to 5, you got like a 24/7 thing, but it's flexible, you're able to make that work for you. The goal is to look for opportunities in everything. There are some people that believe that if you see a problem, that means you're probably the one to fix it. And I do that a lot. I'm a systems-based person. I consider myself to be a whole life system strategist. And in that, I can go into a workplace, I can go into someone's home, I can look at someone's life, they can share some stories or details about their life with me, and I'm able to sit down and figure out what systems aren't aligned with what they're trying to do and where they're trying to go. Because people have a tendency to see themselves one way, project another way, and then think about what they want to do, and it's all totally different from the actual vision for their lives. So they sit down and talk to somebody like me, and I try to guide them into where they need to go, which thus created an additional stream of income for me. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do. The second thing is, if you are an entrepreneur or if you're working 9 to 5, but now you have created something that is totally independent from your career, then you want to learn how to charge what you're worth. Yeah, charge what you're worth is super important because you sometimes may believe that what you're doing isn't quality, or it isn't what people are looking for, or it's saturated heavily. And social media really is. Marketing really is. Like, it really is saturated. But there's these things we call niches that are for each of us. And if we find our niche, usually that is what gets the ball rolling. You have to be dedicated, and you have to understand that it may not happen overnight. Sometimes things do, but a lot of times there are learning curves to this, and you have to be willing to accept what that learning curve might be. So charging what you worth is saying that I possess these skills that are allowing me to help you. And I know that I stay up for 3 hours creating some type of product or system or document that will help the people I'm here to serve. And in that, if it's taking mental bandwidth, if it's taking time away from your family, if it is if it's one of those types of services where it will provide, like one service could provide and pay for a lot of things within your family dynamic, then that's something you really want to tap into. But either way, you need to believe that what you have is worth the amount. I mean, do your research. You're not just going to be like trying to market this ink pen and I'm saying, oh, this ink pen's worth $1 million. And I haven't looked into this to see if this pen is even worth somebody paying that. Now, we do know that there are companies out there right now that are getting away with selling yellow plastic bags for a lot of money. But you have to either have, just do your research, figure out what you should be charging. What are the going rates in your field? What are the going rates in your community, in your state? And that's how you kind of can get an idea of what you could really charge. And then most of all, just believe in yourself. Believe that you are worth charging that much. Simple, I think. Anyway, third thing I did when I wanted to triple my income, or when I tripled my income, because honestly it happened and I wasn't even aware of it until tax time. But I had crystal clear business meetings regularly with God. It was on a quarterly basis, in addition to like the smaller times where I would meet with God, but on a quarterly basis, I had these quarterly meetings, and that is where God and I would sit down at the table with my notebook, with my computer, with the questions and the topics that I wanted to discuss in 1 hour of a time frame, because God is a respect of time. He does respect our time. And I would ask the hard questions. I would ask God, what am I not doing? Can you show me what I need to do next? Is there something I need to move out of the way? Are there things that I need to shut down and let go of? And he would show me. He either tell me, personally, my relationship with God is really close, so he could tell me right then and there. Sometimes it comes when I'm just writing. Sometimes it would come when I'm watching something or someone else, a mentor or something. They would tell me about it. Whatever it is, like God would find a way to let me know what I need to do next for my business. So sitting down and having those quarterly meetings, it gives you this insight about what to do next. Whether you're working 9 to 5 and you're trying to increase your income by getting a promotion or whatever, or if you're becoming an entrepreneur, or you're doing both and you're just juggling a second side hustle or a second income stream or a third income stream, whatever that looks like, God wants to be there with you. God wants to guide you through it. God wants to be your support and your covering. So let him. Have those meetings with him and find out what you need to do next. And finally, when you want to grow your income, because like I said, I tripled my income in 1 year by doing these things. The final thing I did, because I did say there were only going to be 3 things, but really there's a 4th one. And the 4th one is important to me. I think it's important to a lot of people who are Bible readers. We see the reason for doing this said thing, and that's tithing. It is tithing. I tithe and I sow into God's plan. I sow into the vision. For example, there was somebody that I watched, and he was invited to a wedding, and he said that he sowed into the married couple because he believed, his turn for being married was coming, and he wanted to sow into their marriage so that it was like he was sowing into his, if that makes sense. And he wanted God to bless him and send his wife and his family. And I was like, that's a great way to look at it, because we should look at life in general that way. Whatever we're believing God for, we should be sowing and tithing into it. So one of the things I have done since I was really little, like 8 years old, filling out a tithe envelope at church. Yes, 8. I started writing on my envelope. When I was 8, it was just little simple things. But now that I'm a woman and I'm an adult, I write the things that I want God, that I'm asking God to do for me, because it's in alignment with the vision that he showed me. So because I have a general idea of the vision and I've written it down and made it plain, now on my tithe envelope, I put with some of the things from my vision board on my tithe envelope, so that simultaneously we're working together. I'm praying about the vision and I'm sowing into the vision. I'm praying about the vision and I'm sowing into the vision. And then God shows me the vision, and then I come down here with the blueprint and I start acting on it. I start executing. God shows me something, I'm like, let's go, let's get it done. And because of that pattern, that cycle, I sow into the vision, God shows me the vision, and I'm believing in it, and then I act on it as soon as he shows me what the blueprint is. That was one of the ways that I increased my income. I tripled my income because I kept that momentum. Now, the thing about tripling your income, if you spent a season in a hard time, because all the seasons before 2025 for me were a bit challenging, and especially financially, I had to dig myself out of different holes because my income was not as much as that it is now. But I dug such a deep hole that now it doesn't even feel like it. I'm gonna be real. It doesn't even feel like I'm making what I'm making because I gotta clean up all my mess. And rightfully so. Back then, a couple of years ago, I was not. I started with just my car. That was my car and my mortgage. And because my income, I could not increase it. I could not find side hustles. I could not get a job. I applied like for over 300 jobs and probably got 2 interviews. And one of the jobs I took, but it was still another side hustle. And with that in mind, like I'm looking at my income. I'm like, how am I gonna make it? I was on government assistance too, and so all of that kind of put me in a hole when emergencies would come up because I didn't have an emergency fund. I didn't have money in a savings account. I had nowhere to borrow anything from except borrowing it from debt. So I did that for that year or two, probably about 2 years. And now that I'm in this position, I'm just paying all of it off, taking care of my debts, being very, very responsible and intentional, because the vision for my life is me charging what I'm worth. The vision for my life is me tithing. The vision for my worth is me having these meetings with God. And the vision for me and my increase in my income is by adding multiple streams. Multiple streams. That means in some seasons I might do this and slow down over here. In other seasons I'm doing that and I'm slowing down over there. We have to be really, really intentional about what that looks like. If you want to increase your income, the biggest thing I can say is be intentional about whatever it is you're going to do and ask God to show you specifically what that is. Without Him, you could be doing a whole bunch of things and they amount to nothing. Or you could be doing so much that you burn out because you're not doing what God wants you to do, what He told you to do, what He showed you in the vision. You could be doing something that looks like it's attached to your vision and it's not. It's something that's attached to what you see, but it's not attached to what God wants you to do or what God sees for you. So those are the things that I did to triple my income. And I'm not promising that it's going to work for you. But if you seek God's face, He will show you exactly what you need to do the same. All right? So I love y'all so much. And stay tuned because the next one is coming. Bye, y'all.
In 2025, God gave me the blueprint. But in 2026, I'm walking single moms through it.